Welcome to Fans of Sport. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share your thoughts in the comment section below.
Going into the Magesi team, because I respect every opponent, and I'm always scared of the opponents that are not favored. I'm always scared of those because they always pull surprises. So I try to dig as deep as I can and look at each and every individual and know their team probably more than I know my team sometimes. Because as it is now, I can tell you the starting 11 and the potential substitutes and everything that they can play in this match. And I know how difficult it's going to be to deal with that Manqoba up front. I know Diolin Mekua is going to be causing a lot of problem with his left foot. Dapo is a big problem in the midfield because he breaks down most of attacks. They've got Mashiko on the right, who is running for every ball and very instrumental even assisting them defensively. They've got an Abrams as a right back who I think is one of the most influential and underrated players in the PSL. I saw him even last year when we played against Tuks. He was very influential as an offensive player, but now he's playing as a right back. They've got Chiramandare, who is very lazy on the left, but very dangerous offensively because when he comes out, he's a very important player offensively for them. So I think he reserves the energy for that because he's very influential offensively. And in their back four, you know, you've got a Mokone on the side, on the left, and another Mokone as a right centre back. You've got a Chipezeze who is a very good goalkeeper and he works very hard. He knows what he's doing. We know what to expect. And we just have to be focused and keep our levels of motivation at the right level because games like those are very difficult because you have to dig very deep. Like I said, if you win it, by the way. But if you lose it, you must know what you are in the news. So it's a very tough game. I don't want to lie to you. It says we must be worried about our football because the gap between the NFD and the PSL is very small. Sometimes the gap between the ABC Motsepe League and the PSL can be very small. I've seen a lot of games, and I've seen sometimes I even say a lot of players in South Africa are overrated because when you look at them very closely, let me just give you a Magesi for an example. You look at that squad, it was their NFD squad. Yes, it has got a Mzava who has played in the PSL. It has got Julian Mekua who has played in the PSL. It has got a Dapo who has played in the PSL. It has got Manqoba who has played in the PSL, and a Chiramandare who has played in the PSL, and a Chipezeze who has played in the PSL. But it's the team that they had in the NFT, like you are saying, and that is a very strong team. That is a very strong team that when I can bring you a big team and put it in front of you here and say man on man, one by one, look at this and say which of the two is stronger than the other. Then you will be surprised, I never thought a Magesi has got maybe stronger personnel than what I thought of all the other counterparts. So the reality in South African football is that we are not too worried about what happens technically. We are too concerned about everything else that is happening outside the pitch, and that is why we are not even bothered with the development of youngsters. And the teams that are working very hard on their developments, they are really showing their strength in the PSL, probably without much budgets. If you look at teams like Stellenbosch, they have been able to hold their own in the PSL without spending so much. You look at Cape Town City, they've done the same. How many players have they sold in the process? And you look at all these teams and you say, then what is the difference between smaller and bigger teams in the PSL? Probably we should try and invest a little bit more on on our coaching, on our coaches, and maybe employing more people that can add value technically in the game. There are many teams that have got, maybe the administration staff is 3 times more than the technical staff. But it's a football game. We are football clubs. We must make sure that technically we leave no stone unturned. And I don't think most teams in the country are spending a lot of money technically. They are spending a lot of money in everything else that is around football. And that is going to be detrimental to many teams, because a lot of big things are still going to happen in the country where you will see big teams fighting for relegation, and you'll start saying, what is happening? Because the gap is very small. And maybe the teams that are at the bottom are working harder, because that's another issue, because in South Africa there are also a lot of players that have got this entitlement that they are playing in the PSL, but they are not working hard enough for their salaries and to sustain their jobs within the PSL teams. So there are many things that you can look at, but believe me, we have a lot of work to do.